Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome back. Today we'll be discussing about the the subcategory of orphans, right? We discussed in the last video good deeds, ideas, and helping the orphans. And in that, I gave you a little brief about all these. These are all projects by themselves. And if you want to learn more about the models and fundraising, there are other videos. And likewise, the previous video will definitely explain much more in detail. But today we'll be discussing about how can be helped in the saving and the medical part. So let's start. The saving part is only possible in two categories. For example, let's say if a child was given to one of the foster parents and you know that the government will not be able to help you out, and especially in the third world countries or developing countries, then you can come up, stand up for themselves, for them, and then ask them to release them from their premises, and you can always look into it. So as I told you, there are always positive and negatives for all the models that we have, but we should be taking the positives from each and every scenario. So in this, you can save the child from different orphanages. I'll just yeah, from foster care, right? I'll just change the O with normal O. Okay, and likewise, let me just add another. Okay, so foster care, it can be from an orphanage. It can be from, for example, sweet home as well, right? Sweet home we have discussed in the last video, and in which we in detail discuss why it is important, or I would rather go for the sweet home method. Then we have you can save them from, for example, from their respective families as well. Sorry, that is done in the foster care. Yes, from wars as well, right? There are wars that are happening in different parts of the world, be it Kashmir, be it Syria, be it Ukraine, be it um all other parts, right? There are lots of wars going on, and unfortunately, there are the children who are suffering the most. Just think of the trauma that the child will go through his or her entire life after losing one or both of their parents, right? And a child as early as maybe like 2 3 4 years 5 years, he or she is uh, traumatized throughout her life because of the accidents and the incidents that happened, the bombing, the firing, the loss of lives, the, taking them prisoners, putting them into camps. This is a trauma that they have to go through. So please help them any way you can. There are some organizations who are working into it, and we can definitely help them out. In medical, there are some medical options that you can look into. In medical, you have this option, which is a very good one, that there are some children hospitals, right? Or there are some wards that you can be a volunteer in. You can help them being a volunteer. You can help them in being, by your services or by your funds or by your references. You can always go and then even give a person your vouch that this organization is doing a good job. Then comes the food part. There is a very good option, and food is something which you can always do from the very next day. The saving part, the medical part, that is something that you have to look into it. You have to go through a proper channel. There are some legalities also, especially in the saving part. But as far as the food is concerned, that is something which you can always go there and then. That is not a problem at all. I have seen in Turkey, Istanbul, the Syrian refugees and the Syrian orphans. They were wandering here on the streets, and there was this one of my cousins, he had a small cafe over there, and he used to give them food, and he used to teach them as well. So it really helped them get into the world, believing that everyone is after them, and they are that they feel like as if they're under attack by everyone. So this is a very good way to get closer to them. For food, you can do a couple of things. First of all, is neighborhood. We will discuss that. It can be sorry. It can be neighborhood. It can be personal. It can be fundraising. Sorry. Yeah, fund drive or food drive. And in personal, you can do. There's a very good idea which I want you to do. Sorry. This is an idea which I was looking into, but unfortunately, I got engaged with a couple of big projects, so I was unable to do it. This one project that you can do small rolls or wrap. You can the Pakistan is suffering with, if we talk about Pakistan, and I am one of the Pakistanis, Alhamdulillah, and Pakistan is one of the countries with prevalence rate of malnourishment is high. It has been established that in Pakistan, 428 out of every 100,000 deaths of children are aged between 5 years and related to malnourished. This is something which you can look into. Even the people who are running some orphanage, they are unable to provide them with proper nourishment and proper breakfast. And everybody knows that breakfast is the most important meal in the whole day, right? So what you can do is plan something, make make some rolls or wraps, and then give it to the closest orphanage that you have. You don't have to be very vocal about it. You don't have to choose. You can always ask the teachers or maybe the management to help you out identify or give themselves who you think are very choosy with their foods, or maybe like very in need of that. You can start small, responsive. Keep in mind that you have to do it consistently. Even if you're doing it 5 times a week, that is also very doable. You can one day you can make it of a meat, the other day you can make of a vegetable, the other days you can make change the meat or add some egg to it. So there are some options that you can do, and that hardly would take a couple of hours of your time. So you can do that. The second thing, which is that you can always provide them with breakfast. There are some very good packaged milks available, options available, and there are some very good what you can say local local dishes as well. Like in Pakistan, we have parathas, and we have eggs, we have omelets, we have boiled eggs. You can do something similar to it. Then you can always plan once a meal. There are 3 meals that an orphanage I they should be planning for at least 3 meals. Even if they are making two, you can always plan something for a dinner or a lunch. Sorry, yeah, or breakfast. But you need a commitment for it. And once you are in, you should not ever look back. Just imagine after 10, 20 years, a good deed that you have done or outperformed for many, many years, it will definitely will impact not only the child but the management, and the child will get the fruits even after he's done with the school. Why? Because he will be able to, be much more relaxed. He will be able to concentrate more. He will have no issues with his health. And if a person does not have or is not suffering with any health issues, it will not only help the management in long term, in short term, but it will definitely help the boy or the girl in the long term as well. So please plan out something like that. It can be a food drive. It can be a food drive. There are some foods which are always lying in our fridge. You can plan something that you can, go and ask some of your local kids or children to help you out with that, and buy some small cartons or maybe like packaging material. It should be small so that it's easy to carry, and you can always give a couple of boxes to each and every house that you have already spoken with, and maybe they can, give rice or butter or maybe anything. Sorry about my hiccups. I'm not well today. So you can always give or plan something for yourself, and that you can do, and that will definitely help. So there are three options that you can do: neighborhood, person, and food drive. Sorry, and this is something. Um, okay, let's add another name. Then comes the close part. Close part is again on your personal level, and it can be on your personal level as well. It can be on your. It can be on your in your, neighborhood, and likewise it can be a clothes drive as well. And for this, there are some very good options for it, and there are some good organizations who are doing a very remarkable job. And they what they have done is they have placed some you know when it's not a machine. It's like a trunk, or maybe like a box, right? Cloth box. So where near clothes boxes, you can place them wherever you like. Ideally, would be that you place them in the worshipping areas. It can be masjids. People are very, very uh, inclined towards giving as far as the masjids are concerned. You can, even if you are not a Muslim, you can always ask the local management of the masjid, and definitely they will help you out and place it in placing of a box, clothes box over there. You can always do clothes drive whenever the festival is coming up. You can do that, and you can do uh, like for in Muslims we have two festivals. We call them Eid, right? And in Indians or the Hindus have their own festivals. So what you can do is ask them to uh, give some charity, or ask them to give you some clothes. When if they are planning something for their kids or their children, they can always give something to the people, old clothes, to the orphans as well. In shelter, we have discussed a lot. That is not a problem. I think we have discussed this yesterday, in the last video, in fact. Then comes the education part. Education part, again, if there is existing system going on, you can do that. Or what you can do is ask the local. You can, if a child is brilliant and is not, if he's doing good as far as the grades are concerned, because in education KPIs are generally grades, right? Key performance indicators. So what you can do is ask them to give you those lists. Sorry, and you can always give or place them into a private school, which which will definitely boost their other abilities as well: public speaking, and vocational, and what else, and maybe he can excel in that, and that later on he might get a scholarship. So these are the options. All you have to do is simply go and extend yourself to your limit, so that you're fighting for that boy or a girl, right? So you can do that. All you and you can do. Visiting can be on occasions, on special things. You can always give. It can be random as well, right? So for today, I think I should be covering all. I have covered this very well. First of all, was saving them from foster care, orphanages, sweet homes, and always there are options in wars. There are some refugees, especially in Pakistan and in Turkey. They have a very good refugee camps. You can help them by adopting one of the child from there. Be very specific what you need. Don't go for looks only. Uh, look, ask other consultants what other factors should be there. Cognitive and other skills should be there, hand-eye coordination. If you're adopting a child, make sure you are not looking into just how pretty or nice looking the small boy is, so that you feel him cute or you can relate to your family. It's all about how impactful he can be, how adjusting, how can you make him adjustment, give some little things and he can adjust to your family. Interview him or her, take a translator, do what you can, but please make sure that you are doing a thorough uh, research to it, thorough interviewing. And then comes the medical part. There are some children hospitals and wards. This might sound little more difficult for people who are living abroad or in the Western society because that is funded by the government. But these hospitals are also funded in Pakistan. But unfortunately, there are again some hospitals which are not funded by the government, and they are private. So you can always sponsor one child, or may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you so much that you sponsor the whole department. Sorry about my hiccups once again. So you can always do services, funds, and reference. This is something which you can do with every aspect, right? It can be food, it can be clothes, it can be medical, it can be saving a child. Then comes the food. Then comes the food drive. You can buy small packaging. You can sponsor 10 children by giving them rolls, wraps, breakfast, or once a meal. And clothes, it can be personal neighborhood and clothes drive. Clothes boxes are there, worshipping areas, especially in masjids. That is where lots and lots of people give charity in. So hope you this video is beneficial for you. And uh, just to tell you that I make video with thorough research, and it's just not random. And I make sure that I develop something or give something back to the society. These videos will definitely help the current generation and the generations yet to come. So all you have to do is simply spread the word. Don't look what I am, only this is this research is not complete. There is always room for improvement. You can always send me a comment. You can always discuss, and we can make this something which is much more productive. There are some this videos are all open for ideas and project names and initiatives. You can always do that. I hope you do like the video and do share. Once again, I'm really sorry I'm not feeling that well today. And just to make sure that I keep on doing that, I have made this video. You can see from my hiccups, I'm not that well today. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me health, and you take care, and we will stay in touch.